Okay. So today we're here to talk about Tantric lifestyle. And Hod is going to tell us a little bit about his lifestyle and experiences. So why don't you start by introducing yourself?
Hello, my name is Hod. I live right now in Israel, and I want to tell you about my tantric life. I started this from very young age, actually. At the start, I didn't know, and by the time I realized that this is actually what I'm living, what I'm doing, and I call it my path because I realized that there is a whole way of which is a path which people took already for like thousands of years, and it's called Tantra. And I would like to share my experience with this, and also to clarify things regarding some aspects of that, which I know, as far as my experience, that they're misunderstood in some ways, and in some countries, or if I may say it more directly, to those people who are interested in that and trying to experience that at a path, because there are some people who are taking part of that from that and just experiencing that or exercising those things which are taken from that into their lives. So I'm trying to help both.
If you have to describe the tantric lifestyle compared to a non-tantric lifestyle, what would you say would be the benefits, both sexually and non-sexually?
Okay, it's really wide. I can't explain really here all of that. I can't say a full answer to that. But if you are taking this to the sex aspect, which I prefer to call it more like love making, then it will gonna be a bit more easy, but still it's not to the full. So if I'm to consider your question in a matter of how it changes the lives of people, for example, if they take that as a main thing of a path, and then to compare it to whether if it's taken from that path or just being used, even not knowing if it's that a part of a path or not, it's actually a whole way of different life, because the sex energy, which is actually life energy, it's within all of us. Whether if it sits based in the first chakra of all of us, all of humans, or has more parts in other chakras and other aspects of our lives, or organs, or feelings, or emotions, or more, then it's just there, but it sits at the base. So it means that area, if you look into that, I will just say that it's very much of the human survival energy and creation energies, and it's a tremendous source of power. Now, humans, of course, we have our sex and love making, if it turns to be that, basically sitting there. You can have sex with love, with not love, with other chakras or not. When I say chakras, I mean that each chakra based more aspects of the human. So, of course, you could have sex with no love or no other amazing parts of the human, such as awareness. And therefore, if you change that, and even if you put much more emphasis on that, and it's already a path which is lengthened to months and years, maybe many years, then of course it will change all. For example, it can change how you experience other experiences in your life. If you are having more energy of life while you experience something, even like eating a sandwich, then everything will taste differently. Or if you have that and you're going to sleep, of course you will sleep in different ways. It's going to be more easy, more smooth, and more nourishing. If you have more energies like that, for example, maybe your hair will grow more healthy. Because actually, even though we're speaking now about sex, when you go down, deep down into that, it's actually energy of life. What gives you the air, what gives you your life until it ends. And there are many kinds of those energies. A very major one called prana. And if you do that sex, you're actually having lots of much more prana energies in your life. It's really not just in your sex. If you do it with love as well, and then I call it love making, then it's even more.
So this life energy, prana energy that you're talking about, if I understand correctly, that is what is the big difference between a tantric lifestyle and a non-tantric lifestyle. And that is what is making the difference, both sexually and non-sexually. Can you tap into this prana energy outside of lovemaking as well?
Yes, but just to add to your questions, for me it's not to the full, because it's not just the prana energy, it also changes your awareness. And more than that, if you're meditative or almost meditative, or direct yourself to do more inner work regarding your spirituality and your life energies, and like, for example, making your head chatter less, because everyone has this voice talking in their heads and being influenced by their mind tremendously, and I really mean tremendously, then it's just there, it changes as well. As well, if you will just practice and exercise things which are more down there at the base chakra, and if it's sex as well, then also your awareness will start to change. So now back to your question, can you maybe see if you want to fix it or say it a bit differently?
I forgot my question. What was my question? Do you remember?
Your second question in a row.
This one wasn't written down. This one came spontaneously. I was talking about the prana energy and the life energy, and that, in my understanding, you described that as the big difference between tantric lifestyle and non-tantric lifestyle. And now you added elements of meditation and
consciousness.
Yes.
Yeah.
And is this also part of the tantric practice, that you meditate and you try to turn off the chatter and be maybe more in the moment?
Yes, this is very much taking you to what we started saying about that there is a path actually. So those who are, if they are interested in having this quite of a major thing in their life, or not that major, but it is really taking care of, and you really want or interested to have more development to yourself, not just living the simple life, then of course it becomes like something which is a path. And of course, if you learn more of how to do it, then it's much more even, and it will work for you even better. And regarding your question, yes, it's in there. It's in there very much, even if it's not a path. And it just depends to how deep you take it. Because, for example, if you're just having sex, and it's even not just making love, and you do things like that, it will change. It will change you. even if it's just about changing your focus about life or a very specific moment, you will realize that the way you experience a specific moment is different, which means you can be experiencing all lot of kinds of experiences in life and experience them in a different way, and you will feel and you will know and you'll have the notion, and also your senses will tell you that you're actually doing something else, which is, I could say, even more fun. It's more comfortable, more focused, more nourishing, and more giving you other aspects of you which most probably you didn't know even that you have. Getting back to an example I wanted to say, I wanted to give you an example of what about if you're just doing something very simple. You sit in there, whether if it is by yourself or with a partner, and you experience, for example, a different way of breathing. And then you take it into, let's say, I'll just invent now something that I know, to that lower chakra. So if you start to have, I would just say things right now, moving and changing within that chakra, then of course energies will move, your awareness will change. And let's make it even more simple. You will just sense your body differently. You will feel your body differently. So if you feel your body differently and now you're having sex, of course, the whole experience will be totally different. And now I'm speaking something very basic. Adding to that, if you know how to center yourself. Many people don't know what it is, a center, but if I could just for now say that each one of us has a center, then it means that all of you have something which is a center in there, and all the rest is what is actually around it. Otherwise, how could it be a center? So if all that is now happening and you're kind of starting to go back to your center, of course that all your awareness will change, all your consciousness will start changing. Of course, your body, your feelings, your senses, everything will start to create other experiences for you. And if you are connected in a different way to your life or to life power, what I just called before that prana, it means that you're connected with that. So prana and you will start to have different relationship. So yeah.
Okay. I have listened to your videos and now hear you also talk about the lower chakra. I'm wondering why you're choosing that and how people can focus on this chakra as like coming into this not knowing anything really about any of the chakras. Like why is this one, why do you choose this one to focus on, or is this part of the tantric lifestyle that's the first one to focus on? Can you explain that a little more, please?
Yeah. So yes, well, first of all, the power of life starts from lower chakra. This is where it sits. It doesn't mean that you don't have the power of life in other chakras. It certainly bases the sex in there. And it's very much a big of influence in our lives, right? So the tantric exercises, experiences, and of course the path itself starts from there. And if you saw my movies, there is something which is in there really at the center regarding the chakras. And this is why I can also put into that answer the matter of the Kundalini rise. So let's leave that Kundalini rise explanation later to another interview or another video. It's just that I have to put it together now in order to explain and to answer your question. Why I do this? I do this because it is fully tremendous. There are many, many reasons why, and parts of them are in my videos. I started my life with a certain disease, And the prana energy was somehow, let's call it by a miracle, was just there for me when it was really needed, and I had these prana surges of energies being poured into my being, and it was a healer. In the start it was very strange. It looked like actually like spasms of a disease. It could be a part of that disease, and I thought, I was almost sure that that is something which is really wrong, and I was afraid of that. But by the years I realized that it's still there, and it's helping me actually. And each time after it comes or it doesn't come, then I could specifically see a big difference. So it was a healer, it was a nourishment, it was some kind of protection when I was having those attacks from that disease, which is actually in one of my videos described. I was paralyzed. I was a vegetable. I couldn't do anything. Also not blinking or opening or closing my eyes. And it just there came, and it changed things in my body, and it gave me my movement again, or my ability to breathe again. Many times I was just choked. Taking anxieties off, fears, it was very frightening. And by the years, when it still stayed there and came once in a while, I realized that there is something there outside of me, with consciousness, with wisdom, that's taking care of me, and that it's there, and it knows exactly what's going on, and it comes in the right time. And at a very young age, I also started doing meditation, and it just started to work together. If you do a specific meditation, which I speak of, and it's about no mind, you actually get out of the mind, and the mind will not control you anymore. You go back to the source, you could call it maybe a soul. Then you realize that you are absolutely something else when you're outside from the mind. And I'm not talking about increasing some abilities of the mind, and at the same time maybe trying to hold back other aspects. Like in other meditations, I'm speaking of literally getting out of it. So it kind of came together. I realized that when I'm to change my consciousness by meditation, then more prana is there, and then more things are changing. And if more things are changing, I already kind of know how to work with that and how to change with that. I have to let go, for example. In the start, I didn't know at all about letting go of fears, letting go of hatred, and many other things. And here I'm talking about me as a youth, from 11 to 16, something like that. So going down to bottom, when I had all those changes of prana surges and consciousness, it would always take me to the source of power in order to heal me, and in order to get my right way to start working with my consciousness, because I thought it will always have to start with somewhere around my head, because I had my mind there all the time controlling me. I could sense where the energy is. So I thought that this is the start of the problem. But only when I let myself start working with this at my lower chakra, I saw influence being made onto my organs, my sex life, what I'm attracted to, what I'm interested to, and all that came with a lot of wisdom and intuition. My consciousness worked all the time in a much better way, and all the time I was led by those to go there to the Kundalini rise and to the first chakra and experience everything and to heal everything, because there are also many diseases. I mean, I'm not sure that's the right word to say, but all humanity, if they are not in some kind of balance and really connected and centered with themselves, then occur different things to their sexuality. And if I can say that it's not balanced, then if you do want to get balanced, then it means that something has to change there. The center has to change, your sex life will change, your love life will change, your energies will change, and your consciousness will change. So only then, just by reading books and getting to lectures, I just realized that there is a word to that. The Kundalini rise, it rises from the lower chakra all the way up, and it's all about consciousness which changes, and of course when it changes the mind, and all that changes your body, and of course your sex will change. So you can take it to be a path, and you can also just leave it and work with that at your first chakra. This is what I'm doing in my videos. This is the aim, just to reveal and just to show people, to give a direction, to make it to be more precise for them, more healthy for them, more happy for them, and make their way much easier.
Okay, amazing.